Welcome to the Dezperate Actor Podcast with your host, Steve Des, taking you from where you are to where you want to be with the Dezperate Actor program. Go to dezperateactor.com for more information. And now, here's your host, Steve Des. Hey, welcome to the Dezperate Actor Podcast. It's me, Steve Des from dezperateactor.com, and today we're going to be talking about maximizing your time on set. So let's talk about this because you are already going to sets. Well, I would think so. Or you're preparing yourself to go on set in the very near future. So how do you maximize your time on set? So whether you are an actual principal actor, or you're a background actor, or you just work in productions and things like that, there's many different ways you can maximize your time on set. One of the best ways to maximize your time on set and to maximize your longevity on sets in the future will be to always, no matter your position on set, whether you're a production, whether you're a background, whether you're a principal, doesn't matter what it is. The best way to maximize your time on set, number one, would be to always show up as the best version of yourself. In the very beginning, it's going to be very exciting to be on sets because it might be your first times here and you might not have that many experiences on sets. So it's very exciting to see like the cameras and the lights and the sound and the people and the different intricate sets that you get to work on and everything. It's really cool to see all these different people from all types of backgrounds just come together for this one production and making it happen. So one of the best ways you can do in order to maximize your time on set will be to show up as the best version of yourself, because now other people will be much more open, as well as you, to approach and talk and network with other people. And that will be my number two. It will be like, how do you maximize your time on set? Networking. So number one, show up as the best version of yourself, and number two, networking. The more you network in set, the better it is going to be. And it doesn't matter in your position again, like whether you're a background actor, you're a principal actor, you're on art department, you're on production, it doesn't matter what it is. The more you can network, the more you can leverage those opportunities in the future and cultivate those relationships in order to get more work in the future. So the more you actually get to know these people in a genuine way as well. Don't be oh, I'm just gonna get to know you so you give me an opportunity in the future. No, because there's gonna be people in your life that you're gonna meet on set that they're just gonna become friends. Some are just gonna be acquaintances, and some people will actually become some of your bestest friends in the world. It can all happen, but the magic starts on set, and that is by you maximizing your time there. Another thing that I can tell you in a way for you to maximize your time on set will be to already prepare questions. So this is something that I took primarily from business conferences that I attend to. So every year I go to different business conferences all over the world. And in those business conferences, I go specifically to learn, number one, and number two, to network, to expand my network and get to know more people in different businesses and industries in order to provide them services or help them, or, whatever the future holds for our relationship. And because of this, it has provided a lot of opportunity for me to be on podcasts and getting interviewed in different things, and partnerships and works and retreats and masterminds, and all sorts of things have happened just because of my genuine interest of not only learning but actually networking and getting to know people and helping them. And so the same thing I will tell you. Have already pre-screened questions that you kind of have in the back of your pocket. Doesn't mean you have to pull out the questions. I'm not gonna lie, back in 2015, so a lot of years ago, it seems like 2015 was yesterday, but it was a while ago. That's when I started kind of going. Well, 2014 was really when I started going to these different conferences to specifically network with people. And I just literally, how I started, I jotted down about 20 to 30 questions, and I put it in front of my binder. And with those questions, were as simple as like, what do you think are the qualities of a great leader? And how do you typically approach other people when you're interested in getting to know them? Just genuine questions that you have. And try to make the questions a little bit more open-ended. So those people don't give you just yes and no answers, but they give you actual detailed answers. And it will be questions that you might ask the same question to 3 different people, and they can give you 3 different answers. And it's just about having perspective of where people are at, because everybody talks and speaks, and it's all based on their culture, it's all based on their perspective, it's all based on their background, it's all based in their upbringing. So you have to kind of create these questions in order to get to know other people's perspectives, so your experience and lifestyle becomes richer in life. So at the very beginning, I was literally verbatim reading these questions. So I will say, hey, can I ask you a question? And then I will put my giant binder and then read the question to them, and they will answer to me. At this point, I don't really need that reference, because whatever question I have in the moment or anything like that, or if I have it written down, I just watch, I just look at it, refresh it for a little bit, and then go and approach this person, or keep it in index cards or something like that. That's very easy and feasible. Not like pull up a whole binder like I did back in the day. But the more questions you can ask and the more answers you can get, the better your life is going to be, because you're not asking those questions anymore. You kind of moved on and you're asking bigger and better and brighter questions. So the more you can bring this to sets, and you can actually network in that way, and people see that you're definitely more interested than interesting, then you become an asset to those people, because now you made them feel like they're valued. You made them feel like they're a person to be heard. You made them feel like you're genuinely interested in what they have to say. And when you come from this approach, like, people are gonna forget what you said, people are gonna forget what you do, but they will never ever ever forget how you made them feel. And when you make people feel good, it goes such a long way. They start thinking about you when they're in bad times, start thinking about you, about the time that nobody was asking them questions, but you came and asked them questions. So it makes people feel seen, and we all need that. We all need that every now and then. Get that feeling of like, we are here and we can be heard and we matter. And the more you can offer that, especially on sets, that there's so much happening, and you'll see it by your experience. You'll see that constantly there's sets that there's a lot happening, and sometimes there's sets that there's not a lot happening, but the time is still ticking and the time is still going. And how do you maximize your overall time? Is by making everyone around you feel good. And the more you make others feel good, the more you can feel better about yourself. And you have to maximize your time on sets, because if this is really your dream, if you're listening to this podcast, it's because you want to kind of route yourself towards the industry. You want to achieve more within this career that has so much opportunity, no matter where you are, whether you are a child actor or you are an super old actor. It doesn't matter. There's opportunities, there's roles, there's so much that this industry can offer to everybody. And you have to maximize your time there, so you get invited to more sets, so you get more time doing the things that you love. And if this is something that you want to pursue and make it your life goal, your career, your everything, you have to maximize your time on set. So how do you do it? Show up as your best self, network as much as possible, and don't stop asking questions, especially with those people that you already gel with. But let me just say this about the questions. If someone's busy, let's say a director, a producer, or someone like that, please don't bother them too much. Because it is an industry and people are there to work primarily, so always just use those downtimes, let's say lunch or when you're not shooting or rolling and things, and you see people kind of ease down. Those are the best times to network. Don't just bomb rush people when they're the busiest or they seem the busiest, because people need their time to work too. So just an FYI, just make sure you always maximize your time on set. And what the Dezperate Actor Podcast brings to the table is basically give you a blueprint and a step-by-step guide on how to maximize your career in Hollywood. This particular podcast is primarily for those people that are interested into breaking into the Hollywood industry and get to know the secrets and things that they need to know in order to maximize their career and go from desperate to a working professional actor. We have guides, we have books, we have programs and courses available for you at dezperateactor.com. That's DezperateActor.com. Dezperateactor.com. And we're going to be basically all the time giving you tips and tricks, not only in our podcast, but also in our YouTube channel, our TikToks, Instagram, and every social media platform that we develop here at Dezperate Actor Incorporated. Thank you so much for being part of this journey. We're going to be sharing not only my particular journey, but the journey of other actors as well. We're going to be interviewing people in the very near future in the podcast that are involved in Hollywood somehow, some way, whether they're involved directly in Hollywood or they're working in different industries such as London, Atlanta, Canada, even Colombia. There's a vast majority of people working in the film industry all over the world, and that's why I want to bring the Dezperate Actor Podcast to help you see that this dream is possible no matter where you're at. So if you want more information about what we're doing here at Dezperate Actor, don't forget to subscribe to this podcast, like it, rate it 5 stars, and tell us what you think about the information that we're sharing, not just here, but all over our ecosystem. And if you want more information on how you can get involved and how you can get your career started, just go to dezperateactor.com for more information regarding to our programs, coaching, books, and much more. So thank you so much for being part of this incredible journey. The Dezperate Actor Podcast will be uploading episodes every single week. So make sure to stay tuned, subscribe, and tell all your friends about all the amazing opportunities, tips, tricks, and hacks that we're going to give you right here in the Dezperate Actor Podcast. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day and have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your year.